right, good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
How are we?
Well, we're doing okay.
Yeah.
We're doing okay. We're still alive.
It was going to be a Coury night, but Coury just seems...
My brain's at capacity.
Yeah, from working on Mr. Arcade segment.
Yeah.
We're getting pretty close.
Yeah, I mean, ideally, it'll be out, like, late this week.
Let's not rush. Let's not rush it. Like,
I know we're not going to rush.
But...
I mean... I want it to be out before the end of March.
It will be out before the end of March. I think it'll be like early to mid, like the following week. But it's pretty close. I finished the audio video section yesterday.
Yeah.
I'm working right now on a PS1.
I still haven't watched that.
Honestly. A PS1 core preview.
Yeah.
Like I kind of expanded that because some new things have been added. They're interesting since the last time I looked at it. And then I'll edit the ending after that, I guess. I guess we'll use my ending, and then we'll figure out how to do the final boss, which is the computer course. I was like really panicked about that this morning. Like I'm sitting in the shower thinking, I can't edit the PS1 segment today. We gotta figure out what we're doing about the computers. And I looked at it again. I forgot like how much you already have like a ton written.
Yeah, well, I have all the stuff written for like the PC stuff. It's just like the microcomputers that is like the hardest for me, at least, for both of us, really. And that's where we're gonna get. We're just gonna go through and get like help every step of the way, and do it. We're gonna do what we can.
Yeah.
And, honestly, if what we're looking at right now, I don't know how long your PS1 section is gonna be. Okay.
It's not.
I mean, if it's like under 5 minutes, like it probably will be under 5 minutes. But even if it is, I mean,
I don't think it's quite under 5 minutes.
Okay, so
it's close though.
So listen. If the computer segment is like 12 or less minutes, and whatever, like in your PlayStation section is whatever, and then the ending is like a couple minutes. I mean, currently allotting for that, like without the ending on there and not knowing how much the PC section is and your PlayStation.
Have you put the AV section in?
Yes. We're sitting at 2 hours and 20 minutes right now. Right around 2 hours 20 minutes.
Wait, 2 hours 20 minutes with
I have a gap for the PC section, which I have like 12 minutes.
So are you saying that it's 2 hours and 20 minutes before we even get to arcade or handhelds?
No, that's with that in there. Like I'm looking at the entire timeline. I just have a gap there.
So what are you thinking it's going to be then? Are you talking 2.5 hours?
I thought your PlayStation section was going to be like under 5 minutes.
Oh, it's going to be around 5 minutes, let's say.
And then that's good. That's good. So like I have like a 12-minute gap for PC and microcomputers, which it could entirely end up being longer than that. But right now it is like with that gap and no ending space on there, it is like 2 hours 20 minutes. And no, like not allotting for any PS1 section yet.
I feel like your cotton magnet behind you is reacting to what you're saying right now.
I know. I mean, that's what I feel. Like honestly, like after this video, like I feel dead inside. Like after this video.
This is why Coury's not streaming today.
Yeah. So I don't know. Like it's silly. But like it is what it's going to be what it is, and like we're never doing this exact thing ever again.
No.
I mean, like I was looking back at my footage, and like when I started the script, and I've been like working on this on and off for a year.
Yeah.
I mean, some of my footage that I had was from last February.
Yeah. Well, you've been working on this for like 2% of your life.
I know, it's not an insignificant amount. And like I feel as though, like I just like I said, I feel like kind of dead inside, and I just like I just need to once once I just have the PC and microcomputer section left, I'd be like, all right, this is
This
it.
is it. This is the final boss.
It is the final boss.
There's nothing more you have to worry about doing.
Yeah. So I don't know. Like I'm excited for like to do like the setup tour like after this. Like I think that's just gonna be fun to make.
Yeah.
I feel like I might need to like take a few days off.
Hey, look, I'm going to take this weekend off because my parts will be done this coming weekend. So
Yeah.
I need it too.
I mean, I like that's I'm envious, but at the same time, like I know like we're gonna figure out this PC section, and we're just gonna roll with it. And like I would like the way that I have done the arcade section. I tried to really put as much energy and excitement into it, so that it has kind of a strong finish, I guess, because the arcade is the last segment before the ending.
Yeah.
And like I think for me the arcade stuff is probably the most exciting.
Wait, I thought handhelds came before the ending. Or no, you're right.
Handhelds is before. So
it's the order is. I mean, we jump around consoles throughout.
Yeah, well,
that's
what I think is so cool about it, honestly, is because the entire layout, and for people who have seen the preview, it is, it's like 14 segments of between like 5.
No one segment is very long.
No, and I think that's what's going to be pretty cool about it. So, I mean,
like the AV section is like 16 minutes, which is probably the longest.
Yeah, I mean, is that the longest? Because I think that the closest one is like 15 minutes.
Yeah. It's like nothing is really much longer than 15 minutes throughout the video, and most things are probably 8 to 12.
Yeah, so I think that it's going to move, and people are going to be excited to hear about it and like see what's going to be next. But it's also going to be arranged in such a way that, hey, if you just want to watch this part, you can.
Yeah.
And each part has has a title that comes up, so that there is, you can compartmentalize your viewing of it.
Yeah, absolutely. My camera's not out of focus. It's just that it's too far away and it doesn't focus it doesn't focus back from where I'm sitting. Also, like I was looking the other day, like it's hard to tell on the stream, but like my hair is like a lot longer than what I shot. Like I don't even know how long ago it was that I shot.
Yeah, I don't know when we shot our on-camera stuff.
I'm going to look.
I think it might have been 2 months ago.
I'm going to look.
Might have been in January.
I'm going to look right now, see when those files were created. Let's see.
I mean, they're not going to be like the main reason I don't want to do the ending is I don't want to do that song list.
It looks like I recorded my on-cam on January 28th.
Okay.
So it's going to be about 2 months. 2 months. It's going to release about 2 months after we shot it. I shot that stuff. So yeah, I haven't trimmed my hair in any meaningful way since. So anyway, there was a bit ago a super chat from Dad 1153 asking, "Is this a game stream or a production meeting?" And you're darn right, it's a game stream. There's a game. There's a video game.
And I have
right
no
there.
idea what this is.
So this is a couple months ago, I think it was. GameSack did a what was the theme? Was it just like games no one talks about or something like that?
Yeah.
And there's a Super Nintendo game called The Twisted Adventures of Spike McFang, which is which is a really weird name for a game. But it's called like Makai Prince Dorabocchan in Japan, which is like Demon Prince Dorabocchan or Dorabocchan or something like that. Some people call this Kid Dracula, even though I mean it has nothing to do with the Capcom Dracula, or I mean the Konami Dracula. But yeah, so you're like this like vampire kid or something. And so this game is the one that comes before the Super Nintendo game. And that's sort of like an overhead Zelda-ish game. This is a side-scrolling game. And I played like...
Dracula?
Huh?
Some people call it Dracula?
Yeah, some people call it Kid Dracula.
Oh, okay.
But it's... I tried it on Mister before I bought it, and it I don't know, it's just a really weird game. And
yeah, they're fighting some poop.
It's like there's just a bunch of really weird stuff going on in it, and I don't hardly know what to make of it, but like it made me laugh, so I'm like, okay, I'm going to buy this. And, like it's weird because like you just stand on top of enemies, like almost like Mario 2 style, but you can't pick them up.
Oh.
And then if you duck, you like throw a tomato bomb.
Well, that's interesting. You know, whenever you mention Dracula, there's one animated GIF that I wish existed that does not exist, and no matter how, I always look for it, because whenever somebody mentions Dracula, I always think of the trailer for the movie Bram Stoker's Dracula, and there's this one quick shot in there, and it's like in the movie, I'm sure too. I mean, I don't remember anything about the movie, with Anthony Hopkins, and he's like, Draco! Like yells it into the air, and I wish that there existed an animated GIF of that.
I don't. I can't say I remember that. I saw the movie one time several years ago.
Yeah, I mean, I've been seeing it since the theater, I think.
It didn't
but I always
do
remember
much
that
for
from
me.
the.
Oh, look, I'm throwing money. That's like my sub weapon, I guess.
Yeah. Just throwing that coinage. That's one of my favorite things about the in the Mister arcade cores is, you know, if you look in the dip switches, it always has one for coinage.
Coinage? It doesn't say coins?
Yeah, it's like how much, like, you know, it's like 1 coin to start, or 2 coins to start, 1 to continue, etc. Stuff like that. It's always like termed coinage.
That never really registered. Getting eaten. Character looks like Twisted Tales of Spike McFang. It is the character from Twisted Tales of Spike McFang. This is his first game. And
my son asked me the other day, he's like, would you rather be a vampire or a werewolf? And it's like, I would rather be a vampire like 100%. Like, that's not even a question. Because I feel as though if you're a werewolf, then you just like lose control of yourself.
Yeah, but it's honestly I mean, assuming you're going by like full moon rules, it's like probably honestly pretty easy to avoid the thing you don't want to happening, or if it just like comes out every full moon whether you see it or not, like you could still probably come up with a pretty good way to get yourself contained. I mean, with a vampire, I I guess there are ways to be a good vampire, but like, you know, sometimes a vampire has to do what a vampire has to do.
Yes.
You know?
Yeah.
You don't want to have to do what a vampire has to do. I mean, you know, I don't necessarily need sunlight to be happy as much as a lot of people do. But it would be a little hard to avoid. I don't know. I feel like the werewolf situation is a little more containable, and only affects you less often.
Yeah. I don't know. Everyone brings up some compelling arguments. You have me rethinking it. For this video, I'd put like my my other 20-inch PVM like in the storage, and I really wanted to get it out for this because I was just doing some dual output shots. I'm like, I'm gonna keep this out here for a little while, see how I like it. And you know, I'm not convinced yet.
You like the 14-incher? Well,
no, I mean, like, actually, I could sit over in that chair and play on a CRT, like, in a nice, comfy chair, and it would actually probably be, like, it'd be good. I actually, like, I'd probably do that a lot. It's just, like, I'm not completely sold on how it just, like, looks sitting over there, I guess.
Oh, that's why you were asking about the IKEA counter.
Right, but I feel like that is too thick. See, maybe I can show it. Hang on. See if I can turn this. You can see it over there.
Yeah.
Oh, let's turn it here. So what do you think? You think it looks too big over there?
No.
I mean, I don't know, but I could sit in that gray chair that's right there and use it and be able to sit comfortably in it and not feel like it's too small. So, I don't know. Let's see if I'm put this in the right place now.
This turtle has a bit of a Psycho Fox arm.
Oh, yep. And I mean, I could put another 13-inch, or 14-inch. I could put underneath it, next to it, but I'm not gonna. Like that's too much. So I think I'll keep it out here for a little while.
Yeah.
And I just saw this notification. It looks like you were on a podcast on the. I didn't realize you'd already done that. On the Retro Hangover podcast.
Yeah, it was about Beetle Adventure Racing. I think they told me that was coming out this week. Was it a tweet?
When did you record that?
Did you retweet it? It was like.
I can.
Yeah, it was maybe 2 weeks ago. Yeah, you should retweet. They told me it was coming out this weekend. I with all the work I've been doing, it slipped my mind. Yeah, you should definitely retweet that.
Yeah, I just did.
Yeah, there's another podcast.
Yeah, I don't know if that's. I'm like way off.
No, I think that's coming out next month.
There we go.
All right, there's no number next to continue, so that bodes well.
Or not. I'm like off to the side here.
Like this strikes me as a game that's probably not especially long or difficult.
Yes.
So I kind of have a backup game prepped if I finish way too soon.
Oh, you already have it. You have it picked.
I have a backup game picked. I do.
Oh, cool. I'm definitely gonna play a game all the way through after this video's done. I was doing so good for the majority of the first couple months of this year.
Just like getting through some stuff.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah, I've done pretty good overall getting through some games this year.
Same here, but I just haven't. Haven't had any chance, like, because of this.
Yeah, aside from the obvious games I've done on stream, like I've done Guardians of the Galaxy, I've done Horizon Zero Dawn, not Forbidden West yet. Don't have it yet. I'm almost done, I think, with Persona 5 Strikers, which I said last week is like bad. But I mean, like, to just play it as like a visual novel, just put it on easy mode and play it as a visual novel, it's pretty good. I've definitely been enjoying that aspect of it, but the gameplay is by far my least favorite Muso I have played.
Yeah. I have a bad habit of wasting my evenings on YouTube and accomplishing very little. I feel as though as time's gone on, like I haven't watched like much YouTube.
Oh yeah, I mean honestly, I've been watching more lately than I used to, but I mostly just watch like, I watch stuff our friends do.
Yeah,
is mostly what I watch. So it's a lot of Digital Foundry, GameSack, Game Dave. Game Dave released something this past week. So mostly I watch friends' videos. That's kind of, and I feel like I've been getting a better habit of actually getting around to those videos than I used to. I mean, that's like the big reason, like, I enjoy streaming, but I don't really watch a lot of streams because I just, like, I don't get anything done. Including playing games when I watch that kind of stuff. I guess the water is bad. I was jumping over it earlier like I assumed it was bad.
Yeah.
But now I know it is bad.
There's $5 from Jonathan Hinson. Thank you.
Thank you.
Saying, with all the gaming stuff we've amassed over the years, do you ever fantasize about going digital/ROMs and becoming a retro gaming minimalist? I do. I was just talking to Chris from Classic Gaming Quarterly about this. Like I'm pretty convinced that if we didn't do YouTube, like I probably would not have like a lot of stuff that I have.
Well, I was actually thinking about it like not that long ago. Like,
I mean, you were for a long time.
What?
You only bought the things that you're gonna play, like.
Oh, well, yeah. I mean, and I still like to think that's basically what I do.
Yeah.
But like, I still like to collect things rather than just using ROMs and, Mister and stuff. I prefer to, play, like right now, like even though I could be playing this with more accurate colors on the Mister, but like I wanted to buy the cart and I want to play my cart. Yeah. So I'm playing on my real PC Engine right now.
Right, but you have bought the real cart, but then played it on the Mister. Like that's what you did with a couple of games. Like at least during that
during the marathon, yeah, and and I used it for when Drum and Lynn and I played through Crystal Beans.
Yeah,
which is a Dungeon Explorers sequel. We played that a few weeks ago, and I decided Mister was going to be the easiest way to play that. For one, we wanted to play a translation.
Yeah.
And two, I just thought, like, everyone could use the controller they wanted to use if we play it on Mister, rather than, everyone would have to use the Super Nintendo controller. Drum is like real big into the the 8-bit Do M30, like, you know, it's he finds this D-pad is just the easiest on his hands these days.
Yeah, I can understand that for sure.
So I was just, and plus it's got like built-in turbo and stuff. So I just thought, well, everyone can play with the controller they want on Mister. So that's one advantage. But I, you know, at the same time, like, you know, I enjoy, you know, using, you know, my real things when I can. But I was thinking about it, you know, not that long ago, like as I've loaded up the Mister and got all that, like, you know, if you know, in the classic hypothetical, if you know, you could grab one thing before your house burns down.
Yeah.
You know, like a fully loaded Mister might not be a terrible thing to grab.
Especially as you said to me, you said, you know, I have to admit it's kind of nice booting up these games on the Mister and seeing saved games that I made 10 years ago on there.
On a cartridge, yeah.
Yeah, because I mean
it's surreal.
Yeah.
But
it's nice, you know, it's a nice way to preserve that stuff.
Like if, you know, if for some reason, you know, I had to get rid of everything. I had to, you know, there was some reason, you know, heaven forbid. You know, I probably would go like pretty all in on Mister, you know?
Yeah.
I wouldn't want to come to that, but you know, I could do it.
Yes. And you know, like you knew what Mister did and understood it, everything, but you know, you've had more hands-on time with it, like during the making of this video than like all other time combined.
Oh,
so I mean,
easily.
do you feel as though, do you feel a greater appreciation for it?
Oh, absolutely. Why does this thing like not die?
There was a $1 donation from Eric. Thank you. Saying, sorry if this is a stupid question. If 4K is a perfect 4x of 1080p
I know where this is going.
And my analog system's output 1080p, will my TV scale it perfectly, essentially making the game scale to 4K? Or do a lot of TVs upscale 1080p poorly?
Correct. That there have been, you know, this is something that I kind of have an idea to do a video that might like kind of illustrate this or explain it more clearly sometime. But the basically, like, I guess there are some Panasonic TVs. I don't know if they still do, but there are some Panasonic TVs that do nearest neighbor scaling from like 1080p and I believe 720p. But Panasonic hasn't sold TVs in the US for years. I think they basically only sell in Japan and Europe. I don't know why, but you know, there you have it. So basically, in theory it should just work great, but in practice it doesn't. So yeah, I mean, you would need like and it doesn't exist yet. I've talked to people like, you should make this if it's, you know, if you can. Like one of my dream devices would be, and this is why like the 1440p on the, you know, RetroTink and, you know, the possibility for it on other devices is such a big deal.
Right.
Oh, that's odd. Because like you can get 720p one step closer to 4K, and your TV is going to upscale 1440p better than it upscales 720p. So if you get 720p to 1440p, you have saved a lot of damage to the image.
Yeah. I mean, that's I mean, that's
This
obviously
doesn't
like the next
feel
step,
like what
I
I'm
guess.
supposed to be doing, but I'm.
Can you freeze that fire or something?
Oh no. Am I immune to it while I'm got this metal suit? I don't know. I shouldn't have fallen down here in the first place, I suppose.
I see that. I saw audios in the chat.
Welcome.
I was supposed to, if I was gonna stream tonight, I was gonna stream the recently released Klonoa action RPG on the Game Boy Advance, the fan translation.
Yeah.
I think it was recently released. But I was just couldn't do it because of the I was focusing on so many other things.
Too exhausted from Mr. Work.
Yeah, I was just like, I just don't have the brain capacity for it right now to do it justice.
So now I'm playing this weird game.
Yeah.
But yeah, so but yes, the theory is there. But like there have been comments saying like, wait a second, but it's a perfect 3x scale. It's a perfect 2x scale. And it's like, yes, it is, but that doesn't really help. Like, now I have heard like, I think it was Ace in our Discord channel, when he got...
He's like tried out so many like new TVs.
Yeah, but I mean, he was so afraid to get OLED for so long, and he finally got a C1. And he said like it upscales 720p better than anything he's ever seen. So that's encouraging.
Yeah.
Hopefully whatever I end up buying, I assume a C2.
Yeah.
I heard that the Samsung QD OLEDs might actually be coming out really soon and be cheaper than expected. So that'll give me some pause. But like the key, I think is going to be like what resolutions and input lag and stuff like that is supported. Like Samsung or LG is very much a known quantity on that front. Can I just like
yes, but not only that, but if it's gonna be Samsung's first OLED, like consumer size OLED, I'd be like,
they've done a long time.
I wouldn't get there first.
I'd be nervous too. Like the LG is such a known quantity.
Yeah. Well, I saw something about like how the 55 C2 is like 1,800 or something like that, which seems a lot cheaper than they have been previously.
No, I believe it's going to be more expensive this year because they had been on a downward trajectory for a while.
Oh.
But I think we've just met the limit of I think we've crossed the threshold of inflation versus reduced production costs. Just kind of we can't go down anymore for OLED. I don't think it's going to get lower for the same size.
I saw someone on Facebook Marketplace local to me that was selling a still in box C1 65-inch for $850.
$850?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, that's quite a deal.
It's probably gone now. But maybe it's not. I'm gonna look now. I haven't been paying close enough attention. I spent all my time, all my searches on Facebook Marketplace are PCs with no GPU in it. And then I'm starting to realize, I might as well just, I can probably just build, a pretty good one at Micro Center. It'll be a little bit more expensive, but, not that bad. So I had a weird thing happening with my TI, with my 3070 Ti. and it's like it's not just me. It's like a normal thing. I think it's just maybe it's something like a problem with Premiere or something. But with my 3070 Ti, if I was using it like and using Premiere at the same time, every once in a while, like everything like locks up. Like completely locks up, and then like my graphic drivers crash. And then it comes back, and I basically have to restart. Some days it goes entire like multiple days without happening. Other times it'll happen like multiple times in a day. And John Linneman has been having the same problem.
Boss just like never ends
with it, and and he recently just like upgraded his. So I said, do you still have the same problem now that you've upgraded? And he's like, yeah, it still happens every once in a while. But what I did is I was like, I'm going to take the 3070 Ti out of my computer, and I'm going to put my 1080 Ti back in. And I'm just going to see if it happens.
Mm-hmm.
And now it's just like, it just like it hasn't happened. And now I'm like, what do I do with this 3070? Because the benefits that I get from like editing with the 3070 Ti is not worth the trade-off for having the freezes every once in a while.
Yeah. Like, so so are you saying it's been a disappointment in terms of like increased render time or decreased render time and stuff like that?
It's just like it hasn't seemed like it's been worth it.
Yeah.
Like the trade-off hasn't been worth it. So what I realize I need to do is like maybe I should just get like a decent computer without a GPU in it and put it in that, and just use that as like.
So it's only an editing.
I play games on, or just like a capture machine, or like maybe that's what I do. Like maybe I just take that and make that my new editing system, because, like we have the first set of Threadrippers, which I think
pretty old. I mean, but
it's not that it's old. It's still like.
If John is having the same problem with like new CPUs, though,
right? Which is like, yeah, exactly. So. Yeah, like I don't know. Like I kind of want to just put it into like just like I just put it into a computer with without a GPU. Like just like find a pre-built one without a GPU. And I don't know. Like it's been annoying, and I'm gonna give it more time to make sure that does not happen. To make sure like the system doesn't freeze up, but it's been like running great.
That's crazy.
Yeah, it's a specific thing. It's like NVKDLM or something like that has like caused a crash.
I didn't realize that was
like
the boss of the
it shows
world.
up in like the event viewer.
Because I was pretty sure I beat him once before.
There was a $5 donation from Joe Sean.
Thank you.
Thank you. Saying I was watching one of your past videos on. What?
Did you read the? It looks like there were two Joe Seans.
Oh, were there? Oh, yeah, he had $2 earlier without a message.
Oh, well, thank you.
Thank you. Saying I was watching one of your past videos on hidden gems. We don't call them that anymore, but yes. Where Try recommends Blaster Master on PS1. It ended on a 2-hour trip to a retro store. Worth it. That's one of those games. I mean, that game came out. It was brand new for $9.99.
Yeah. I was playing that on the PS1 core today. I record footage of it and put it in the video today. It was a great game.
But thank you. Yeah, I haven't. I need to play it still. No, I tried running DDU like multiple times with my 3070, and it just like kept on happening. And I was disappointed to hear that John was still having the problem, because I thought for sure that maybe it was too fast for my system. I don't know. Who knows?
That's weird. So when I got to the boss, all these tomatoes fell on the boss, and then I had 0 tomatoes. But I can still throw tomato, like that has nothing to do with that tomato counter in the bottom. I do not know what this means.
It's $2 from Dad1153.
Thank you.
Thank you. Saying Samsung does not support Dolby Vision. Deal break?
That's true. I mean, I don't know how much Dolby Vision matters to me for gaming. So something that I actually did not know was that I guess if you have Dolby Vision for games enabled, like I guess Dolby Vision it always uses on Xbox Series X. I guess it always uses Dolby Vision. And I thought it was only in like supported games. But I don't know. I don't think that's the case. So because I just like a few weeks ago, I randomly like booted up Flight Sim for the first time in like forever.
Yeah.
And like at first I thought the menus looked like too bright. And like I had Dolby Vision. I like didn't even realize I had it on. I was like, oh, so that was the first time I'd used Dolby Vision in a game. But in game it looked really good. So like but the thing is you can't capture Dolby Vision. So you can't like play in Dolby Vision and capture it.
Oh,
so
yeah.
It's not that much of a deal breaker. I guess the main thing would be for movies.
That's a deal breaker for me. You know, like if I
that's a deal breaker for Dolby Vision, but it's not a deal breaker for. What I mean is, it's not a deal breaker for a TV. I guess is what I'm saying. It's because like it's limitedly useful for games. The only thing that would be is it implying that the butt of these flying squirrels is in like the middle of its stomach, where these like poops are coming out of?
I don't get. I feel like that's just the. I don't think that's the butt.
Is that his belly button?
Yeah, it's folds, like the folds of flaps of skin.
Oh no.
So John has an Intel system. I mean, he has an Intel. I think like an i9. Like he has like the newest i9. So it can't be a chipset thing.
No.
My power supply is like the same one. It's like isn't it like 1,000 watts or something like that?
I don't know. Have you used the same power supply you've had in that system since you made it? I had to replace mine about 2 or 3 years ago.
Oh really?
Yeah. It went kind of flaky on me.
Is the EVGA one, right?
Yeah, I got another EV. I mean, they've always been good to me. Like, I needed it immediately, so I wanted to get something I could pick up at Best Buy.
I mean, is there any way to tell? Like, I mean, how can you tell if it's going bad?
Well, it was. I honestly, for one, it was making some coil whine, and I want to say there might have been some other sort of things that were concerning going on there.
Yeah. I mean,
I bought too weak of a power supply, like, I don't know, 15 or more years ago. And that's it's ever since, like, I've very much taken a policy of like, don't skimp on the power supply, because it wrecked the computer. Because it was just like shutting down all the time.
The lockups only seem to happen in Premiere. So that's what I mean. It's just not worth the trade-off. If it's just happening in Premiere, I mean, it's not worth the trade-off for me.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
I'd
because
rather keep my old one.
It's not like you're playing games really on it, you know.
Yes, Exactly. That's why, that's the only place it's happened so far is in.
I mean, you bought that GPU to make editing faster, in theory.
Yeah. I mean, the coolest thing about it when it comes to editing is that when I'm using, like, when I have my bin set to, like, thumbnail mode, it, like, loads them all, like, real quick.
Mm.
That's my favorite. Like, that's, like, the biggest benefit that I've seen.
I mean, honestly, given the... given how old our computers are, like, I'm honestly pretty happy with my editing experience on it. Like
yeah.
Part of me like feels like, it's that computer's like what, like 5 years old? Like I should be ready for an upgrade, but at the same time, it's kind of like, well,
yeah.
Like,
so the event viewer, it says it's like because of like NVKDLM or something like that has crashed. I mean, it probably is Premiere. I mean, it would not surprise me. And when I finish this, I've considered, and I think that I might do it just to see like what it's like. I think that I might try to do like the studio tour video. I think I might try to do it in DaVinci Resolve. Because there is a free version, but also, I mean, you can buy like a license for it that like lasts forever. It's like $300.
oh.
Which is really good. And you can install it on 2 systems. So theoretically, like I could give one of them to you.
Mm-hmm.
If you
I don't know. I have a hard time imagining like switching over to a new editor at this point. I mean, I'm not unhappy with Premiere.
I'm not saying like it's just like maybe just like see what it's like. I mean, just like as a kind of, hey, like it might be beneficial to like see what this can do.
Mm-hmm.
Something that is, like I think that like I like what Premiere does or what Adobe has done, but I think also that they are so like caught up on just like adding new things in every single revision that like I wish that they would just take a year and only fix bugs.
That'd be nice.
You know what I mean? Just like take a year off and just focus on fixing issues.
Well, I have not updated on quite a while, and kind of don't plan to for at least until Analog Frontiers is done, because I've got a bunch of projects, like not just for MLiG, but also freelance that use the title tool, and I still am not positive if it's actually but they've been warning for a while.
Yeah,
it's like going to be removed, and I like that more than I try to use the type on screen tool now, but I don't like it as much, I'll be honest. I like the old title maker tool.
Yeah.
Oh, you can't stand that.
I just thought that it might be fun to do that.
Yeah. Well, I mean, the thing is, like, I honestly have no serious experience editing like in anything else. Like when I started, like Premiere was like kind of, more of a. Oh wow, they dropped a lot of tomatoes. Kind of like a. A third or fourth place kind of thing, at least among like pro editing. It was all about Avid and Final Cut. And like Premiere really took off after a while though, especially in like the YouTube age. And also because they started, of how, it was bundled with Premiere as part of Creative Cloud, which is with Photoshop. I mean, everyone uses Photoshop, so You got to have Photoshop. Right. After Effects is heavily used too. So it's just like, well, you may as well edit it in Premiere. And so I kind of felt like my stubbornness of sticking with Premiere paid off, because then, everyone started using it.
Right. But I mean, that stuff can.
But I
change at any time too.
I wouldn't want us to. I wouldn't want us to not be editing on the same system.
Oh yeah, I mean that's why
But I mean,
I just want to experiment with it, and and just and see how it goes. I'm just imagining it being very similar to Final Cut Pro X, which is good. That would be. It's it's kind of the workflow, and it takes a different mindset, kind of, but there's a lot of things that I'm envious of in Final Cut Pro X.
Well, I mean, there was what was that one version that everyone just had a big falling out with Final Cut?
Well, that was Final Cut Pro X. So, when that came out, though, people were not sure, oh, this is missing a lot of features. But now it's been 10 years, and they have a lot of it's pretty good.
It's caught up.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's not equal.
So they haven't really released a new, full-on new version of it since?
No, I mean, it's just doing what Apple has basically always done, almost, which is just have a new version be point whatever. Instead of this year, 22.0, they did with OS 10 for the longest time. It was OS 10, then OS 10.1 was the next year, then 10.2, and I don't now it's just Mac OS. So that's what they call it. I don't know though. I see all that stuff. I was watching some of these videos on the Mac Studio, and man, it seems pretty good.
I mean, I've really never used Mac, so I just have zero interest in learning Mac.
It can do 8 streams of 8K video simultaneously without dropping any frames.
With what kind of hardware?
It's the hardware that's in it. It's all about that M1 chip.
Oh, is it that video, that thing that you sent me a video of the other? I wasn't even paying attention to what the thing was. I was just looking at the the slider action that you were telling me about. I wouldn't even pay a bit of attention to what it was.
But I mean, we'll see. The M1, I guess, is just really, really good. But it'll be interesting to see what other processor companies end up doing, as a response to it. There was $5 from Robert Kemp. Thank you. Saying, I just want to say thanks for everything that you do.
Wow.
Thank you.
I always say, I always feel bad when it's but we haven't done much. I mean, it's not that we haven't done much lately. You just haven't been able to see the results of our work this year yet. Because, oh my goodness, it's a lot.
Yeah.
You're going to see that within a week and a half, though.
And the thing is I know that people in this stream are going to watch it, but I'm so afraid that everyone else is going to be like, nope. Nope. I have no desire to watch that. So I don't know. It is really difficult to say if it's going to be something that people enjoy or if it's going to be something. I mean, people that watch it, I feel, will enjoy it.
Sure.
But I think that just the people who are just looking to get into the Mister, I don't feel like I'd be
Well-
like, this is the video I'm gonna watch to get myself ready for it.
I mean, it
It's
should be
too much.
though.
So it very well could be that we've finally done it. We've finally have gone too far. And this is like the wake up call that we needed.
Well, I mean, there's no way it's ever going to be worth what we've put into it.
No,
But
but yeah, I just want
in
people
a strictly monetary sense, but
yeah, it's gonna have some. It'll have timeline stuff. I mean, it's gonna have chapters, but the chapters, the way that everything's split up, and we refer to like, oh, you know, like so and so said this in this segment. So I don't know.
yeah, it's going to be set by chapters, so like you can very easily find the subject
And those
you're
chapters,
interested in.
I mean, it's gonna be like 15 chapters. Not for like every little thing, but it's gonna be 15 chapters per segment. And I think it's gonna be people are gonna be able to move through it like pretty easily. I know, but the thing is, like, this is just too much. This is silly.
Wait, how am I doing that?
And
Is that what this suit does?
like, it does not need. Oh, you got a double jump.
I know, but the timing is very weird. Is that what this suit does? I wish I knew what the suits do. I bet there is like no information about this game in English like anywhere.
Probably not. Gaming Blows has been a member for 18 months.
Whoa.
1 month? What? Is this a new game plus of memberships? I'm gonna speedrun my membership this time. I don't know. Says this is making me sound insane, but I really did. Oh wait, did you just like? Oh, it said 1 month on my screen. Okay.
Oh.
I see. Okay. Well, thanks for sticking in there around for so long. But yeah, I think that once this is done, it's gonna be a huge relief to have that done, and really, you know, Analog Frontiers, like this is like clearing the runway for Analog Frontiers.
Very much.
Because, you know, should we like elaborate on like why we kind of wanted to do this before the last?
Sure. So, I mean, Analog Frontier, I mean, obviously it's been the plane for so long, and one of the initial ideas was a documentary on Kevtris. And it kind of ended up being like a much bigger series, but like the idea kind of became like we had so much access to Kevtris, and like we wanted to like make a whole episode like using him is like not just to say like, oh, Kevtris is the greatest ever or anything like that, but just using him as an example of like this is what, you know, this is an example of someone who is like put a lot of time and effort into this kind of stuff, and someone who has had like a large degree of success in terms of just recognition for his work. You know, like this is how you make it, I guess, so to speak. But the thing is, we felt like there was going to be a lot of backlash if we have like still never like really focused on Mr. in a video before, and like people would be like, oh, you're just ignoring Mr. And you know, I think
when we did the stuff with Kevtris, like Mr. was.
Oh, it wasn't even a thing. It was barely a thing. Like we like it wasn't really broadly known about by like, I mean, Mist was known, but Mr. was not. So, you know, the timing of everything, and we didn't we didn't want like discussion of Mister to like take away from that and vice versa. So we were just, we thought like we really got to get Mister like a big blowout video on Mister done. Of course, we didn't expect it was going to end up being as big of a blowout as it was.
This much of a blowout.
But that was the idea. Like we like people will misunderstand what Analog Frontiers Part 4 is about. Like, without the context that we've also given Mister its due,
Yes. Yeah.
And I think a lot of people will miss what Analog Frontiers Part 4 is about regardless, but, I've tried very hard to make it clear that it's not even that much about Analog. Like, Analog is like a small part of it.
Yeah.
Like, it's really not. So, but I think a lot of people are just not even going to be understanding the context. So, like, even though it's not that much about Analog, it's still like, well, like, just so people understand that we don't like hate Mister or something, like, we need to get this video done.
Yeah. Kinto Zero saying, you could have just done a 5-parter, 15 to 30 minutes each. And if we could go back in time, we would have. It would have been a lot more work to undo.
Yeah. Once we realized it. Because the structure just would not work.
Yeah.
The way that it is now. I mean, I would, like, in a perfect world, I would very much like for it to have been done that way. But, I also, okay, this has to be final boss time. Like, this level has felt like final level.
Wouldn't it be funny if that's how you kill him?
Just crouching while his head finally came off his body, so I can't do that anymore. My tomatoes won't even reach him. I have to actually hit him. Ugh. This might go poorly.
Your tomates. But yeah, I mean, I can't imagine living in a post-Analog Frontiers world. It's gonna be like the good old days are back.
Yeah,
I think.
Oh,
the
man.
Good old days of
that guy's tough.
Hey, let's just do this video.
Yeah, exactly. Well, like I was yearning for that feeling so bad, and that's why I did the Super Scope video. I was just like, I want to do this. You know what? I'm going to treat myself to it, and it was great. It was great.
But the way you have it set up and planned, at least right now, is to you're going to be editing on 4 and 5 at the same time.
I mean,
they hopefully
4,
release it.
4 is maybe a fifth or a quarter edited anyway.
Yeah.
And kind of instead of getting back into editing 4, I kind of just want to. I wrote the majority of material for these
Don't say it.
Almost 3 years ago. Oh, it'll be 3 years ago this summer, I think. And so I only wrote a teensy bit of part 5.
Yeah.
But I got everything for all the other parts written. And yeah, so that was so I kind of want to right that wrong and get 5 written and like started editing and then kind of finished them together.
And that's good because the 5th one is going to be the one that needs to be the most current anyway.
That's true.
I mean, the other ones are more like evergreen, and the 5th one is like about the community, and like things have changed in the community, and like new people show up.
I wish we could have Mr. developers and stuff like that represented a little more completely too, but it's just got to get done at this point. But we were able to work Mr. into part 3, even though that wasn't really a subject when we did most of the interviews, because it just didn't. It wasn't really a thing yet.
Yeah. Oh, that's $2 from Shadow Mask. Thank you.
Thank you.
Saying, how has this video changed the way that you guys work? I don't think it's changed anything in the way that we work. It's just like it's probably. It's just hard to see.
It's definitely been more, I guess. Compartmentalized in the sense that that it's it's more. It's just more like segment by segment than usual.
Yeah.
I guess you could say.
Yeah. Yeah.
Which is I've enjoyed that really doing.
And that's how our last several videos.
That's how they have. That's how they have gone. Actually, yes.
Yeah, which is makes it feel a lot more manageable, I think, for both of us. But also, But the thing is that this is like so much of an extreme of that.
Yes.
That it's probably not something that we would choose to. Even with this process, it's just feeling like, oh my god, it's too long.
Mm-hmm.
There's just too much stuff to do, and it's gonna be nice when we see this ultra long video that people are gonna be intimidated by and not want to watch. But it's gonna be like, hey, we both edited an hour. Or an hour and a half.
But what's so funny is you think about how quickly the controllers episode came together. That Switch controllers episode came together so fast. But it was only it was about the same amount of time. But it was such an easy episode to make, though. That's the whole thing.
Yeah.
Whereas this
and there's
is
been
just
a lot of us kind of figuring stuff out, understanding certain things.
A lot of that.
This thing, there was when we started this, the presets for the video filters weren't there. They didn't exist, and I think that feature was fast tracked. Because they
realized how bewildered we were by this.
What's that?
They realized how bewildered we were by this.
Yeah, well, and they wanted it to be fixed in the video.
Yeah.
As in hey, this is the option.
So yeah, that really saved our butts. And there's there's all the presets that you would really need already there, honestly.
I'm excited to see what ends up being created, but this is a very good starting point for the stuff that makes it a lot more accessible.
Absolutely.
I think because
it makes it a lot more accessible
without
for
the
me.
presets, man, it was
it makes no sense.
I can't get anything.
It makes no sense.
Yeah.
You have to really understand what you have to understand how it is working really on a much deeper, more technical level, I think.
Yeah.
I think I'm right at the beginning of the level. I don't understand this level. I know I got through it once before, but it's a bit
there
of a
was
maze.
$10 from Shinjan.
Thanks.
Thank you. Saying, try. You need to give Future Boy Conan on PC Engine a try. I think you'd like.
Oh.
Future Boy Conan. Maybe you could boot that up. I guess if you had a way to do it. You don't have a SSDS.
Well, I don't have an EverDrive or anything. I mean, I could
Well,
always hook up the Mister though. It's just that the Mister is connected directly to my capture card.
Yeah.
Right now, so.
Thank you. I've heard the name Future Boy Conan. But in my head, I think was that like an anime called Detective Conan?
Yeah, it's got like, isn't it like one of the longest running animes ever or something?
Detective Conan.
Yeah, I would have thought of it as the same thing in my head too.
Yeah. And there was also $5 from Bitspasm. Thank you. Saying, why is it that each of your last names fit your personality perfectly? Can't wait for the full Mr. video and Analog Frontiers 4 and 5, but that goes without saying. I didn't really think about it. Like, I mean, I've
definitely got a pretty goofy, derpy
your
last name.
Definitely fits your personality, your general demeanor.
I don't know. I mean, Carlson is pretty plain, I guess.
It is. I'm saying, like, yours, like, you know, like, just the way, like, your personality, it matches your personality. Mm-hmm. Like, it's like a boisterous sounding name.
Boisterous.
There's $4.99 from Michael C. Stashu. Sorry, I'm probably saying it wrong. Thank you. Saying today is the 30th anniversary of Shining Force worldwide release.
Oh, worldwide release? Really?
Did it really come out in all territories at the same time?
That would have been very unusual back then.
You know, I was watching a video today from Sega Lord X on the most expensive Genesis and Mega Drive games.
Yeah.
And I didn't realize that El Viento is like a $400 game.
What?
I only thought about that because I bought El Viento and Shining Force from the same guy, which was like, he was from the Backloggery, right?
Oh yeah. Yeah, I bought some stuff off him too.
Yeah. It's like a El Viento is like a $400 game.
That's crazy.
And I use use a piece of music from Battlemania 2. That's the second Battlemania game, the Japanese exclusive one, you know, sequel to Troubleshooter. And that soundtrack is like so good. But that game is like $1,300.
$1,300?
Yes.
You don't have it though.
No, I don't have that. I wish that I did.
$1,300, gosh.
Yeah.
I think the key to getting through here is figuring out where that blue suit was, but I don't remember.
I forgot what he said was the most expensive. I think Crusader Ascenti might be the most expensive U.S. game.
Really?
Yeah.
Like I mean I know it was expensive, but
I'm glad that we got the Japanese version.
Yeah, that was.
Like, I don't know if the Japanese version is expensive now too.
Yeah, I mean it was cheap.
We got the one that did not have the bonus thing. I don't remember what it was. It included something in the box, but it added like $50 to the price.
Oh. I don't remember where that suit was.
music in this sounds pretty good.
Uh,
Night King is saying, "You guys making a Mr. video then?" Yeah, we're making.
Yeah.
I mean, it might be the Mr. video for a period of 24 hours. Honestly, before like there's something in it that is outdated.
Yeah. It's not just a Mr. video. It's the video we've been spending the entire year working on.
Yeah. And that's just like with us both focusing our full attention on it. I mean, I can't even imagine how long it would have ended up taking me if I just continued doing it by myself.
I know, like what even made us think
it would
that,
not be nearly as long, I don't think.
Yeah, but what even made us think that like that was the way to go? Like it just it couldn't have been done.
Yeah. Night King is gonna be like a decent amount over 2 hours long.
And it's
there's a lot of videos, but there's also like they're done in a way where you can only put so much time into making them because that stuff it changes so quickly.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm sure that for sure that there is a lot of there's probably a lot of competition in that scene, like in terms of like video content. When it comes to like Mr. Videos, like I think that who is it? Video Game Esoterica is the one that I watch the most. It's just really clear and concise all the time.
Can I double jump with this one?
I gotta fill up my water.
Okay.
I'll be right back. Okay. Don't beat the game.
I don't think I'll ever remember how to get back to the boss anyway. Yeah, I don't think I can double jump with this suit. I think it's got to be the blue one. $2 for Anonymous. Mr. League, the Carlson cut. Whew. It's so long, but we're almost done, man. We're almost done. It's crazy to think about, but we're getting there. We are getting there. Actually, should I? There's a one up over here that I should probably definitely get. I can remember how to get that. At least I'm pretty sure this is where it is. I don't think this is going to let me double jump, will it? Actually, is this... This is not where... Huh. Wait a second. Okay. I may have figured something out. I don't think that like silver suit is like tangibly stronger or anything. It's not really clear to me what the different suits do. Red seems to shoot stuff further out. You get further, your shots go further. I think what I need to do... I wonder if I can have more than 99 tomatoes. I wish I could spin those on the second form of the boss and not the first. Because the first seems that you can just stand still. Oh, it's a blue suit! Oh my gosh. Okay, yes, okay. Yes. It was just a random drop. Was it... I feel like it wasn't a random... The one I got before wasn't a random drop, was it? Okay, did I go like up and then left? Maybe? this? I don't feel like this wasn't the way forward. Maybe it was. Okay, yeah, you can't hold more than 99. Okay, I feel like I'm on the right track, but I also feel like I didn't actually need the blue suit to get up here, so now I'm just confused.
All right. Sorry, I was having a piece of brownie train.
Brownie train. What's different?
Whenever
What's different between a
the kids
brown?
go to their grandparents for a night, you know, one of their thing is like make brownies in this in the mold of a train.
Oh,
And it's called the brownie train.
Whoa, that sounds amazing.
I mean, when I hear brownie train, I think of something else, but I think it's really funny.
Okay, I'm finally on the right track now. I've got 5 lives, so this is pretty good.
Grabbed a couple of jelly beans.
I feel like the amount of health I would save trying to avoid this enemy's attack does not make up for lost time that I could have spent just throwing tomatoes at her.
That's like pretty cool what you're doing right now, though.
What, throwing the tomatoes out of my hat?
Maybe you just like duck down underneath them and hammering them.
Oh, that's weird. I did lose some tomatoes. Are they partly like... Do they partly add to my defense or something? How did I lose tomatoes fighting the mid-boss? I don't know. I'm confused. This game is weird, but I don't know. It's cool. It's just a strange game.
Did you see the donations from Phenonymous?
I did see Oh, I saw one from Phenonymous.
There's 2. First one was called Mr. League, the Carlson cut.
Oh, yeah.
And the second one says, it's ready when it's ready. You guys do good work. Well, thank you. But, like, I mean, it's going to be ready when it's ready, but...
That's not going to be much longer.
I'm ready
yeah.
for it to be ready. We're ready
yes.
for it to be just, like, gone. You know, I'm not... No, like... Not worried about it. I just want to move on with my life. So if you die, you resurrect in exactly the same spot.
Yes. So
and you have 5 lives.
Yeah, so I'm feeling fairly confident here. But I mean, this guy's. But once he's off of the body, his attacks are hard to avoid. But I just killed him. Oh wait, he's flying away, and now I got a gold suit. Uh-oh, what's this? What's that? Wasn't it? This appears to be another level, though. Hopefully, it's another level. Or hopefully it's a checkpoint is what I'm saying. Hopefully it's just the boss. That would be amazing. Whoa. Look at that. Look at that giant fire.
Airheads are great. You know, airheads are made here in Cincinnati.
Really?
I believe that's where they're from, yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah, you think you see more of them around here. I love them, but you can get the bags where it just has like the red and blue ones, like the ones that everyone wants. And basically that is the only way, I think, to get those colors. Because if you buy anything else, then there is, like an entire bag, there's barely any red or blue ones.
Please tell me I'm still gold. Okay,
good. There was $1 from Eric. Thank you. Saying, I watched Final Fantasy VII Advent Children for the first time yesterday. I usually don't like being a negative Nancy, but that film was kind of insulting.
It was weird. You know, it's... I think we definitely got with that movie like a sense of Nomura's directorial style that, you know, was also, of course, you know, Kingdom Hearts 2 was around the same time, I guess. But it was really... it had to have been it. It was... I was surprised how much he was able to reel himself in for 7 Remake, like just from a tonal standpoint.
Mm-hmm.
Like, yeah, there's weird things about 7 Remake, especially the ending. But the tone of the game, I think, is very respectful to the tone of the original.
Yeah.
You know? And I feel like the tone Nomura goes for in stuff like Advent Children, Kingdom Hearts, is not that tone. So I was very surprised and impressed that, you know, 7 Remake got the tone of the game quite right for the most part.
Yeah. Do you think that, I mean, I haven't played any of the Kingdom Hearts. I mean, I tried playing some of the first one, like multiple times. Mm-hmm. And you think his way of doing anything is just like, hey, this seems like it'd be cool. Let's just like put this in there and make everything else kind of, and figure out the rest after?
I don't know, like...
Because it's hard to find, like, any real rhyme or reason to... I don't know.
There's a lot of nonsense, but also just a lot of, like... I don't even know how to describe it. Just, like, the tone of Advent Children is weird, I think. It's odd. And, like, the you know, the Sephiroth clones, like the younger ones, like their designs are really weird. I never liked them. Like, I like the ending. I feel like the ending of the movie is pretty good.
Well, you know, when it came out, I mean, I thought it was awesome, but because it's like, you know, like it's like a hour-long battle scene.
I mean, kind of. Yeah. I don't know if that's really quite right.
It felt like that at the time.
But yeah, I was super hyped for it for a long time, and ultimately I was kind of disappointed. But I haven't watched it in a while. I did not love the Blu-ray, to be honest, because
right,
you can really tell.
Did they fix that with the 4K version? I wonder.
Well, I mean,
I heard like conflicting things that they fixed it for the 4K version.
Well, all I know is that when I watched the Blu-ray, like, it was really obvious which were the new scenes and which were the old scenes.
Yeah,
that was my main issue. Like, it was just rendered differently. And I doubt they, like, re-rendered. You know, they probably can't. They probably just don't even have the materials. Or it would just be
which is dumb, because it seems like they would keep that stuff. And I think I read something about how, like, Pixar keeps all that stuff. And they've re-rendered it every time they've done a new release.
Really? Wow.
Like any of their movies.
That's crazy.
Yeah. So Robert Lawrence says it's better than The Spirits Within, and Hattori Hanzo II says it's definitely not better than The Spirits Within.
I mean, Spirits Within... I think I appreciate it more than I used to.
The Spirits Within, I don't know if we talked about this, but I started watching it. Like in the last like year and a half or something like that. Like I started watching it, and it just like it kills me like how much, like how obviously like the bad guy is like the bad guy.
Yeah.
Like James Woods' character. I mean, like I don't remember what his name is, and it's
General Hine, I think it is.
Yeah, like they just call him like should call him like General Bad Guy because that is like who would ever trust anybody that looked like that to do anything to do anything like right?
When Drum had never seen it, and we watched it several years ago, and in the end, he's in some sort of like spaceship or something. And he's like floating through this like tunnel, and he's just like has his like arms behind him, and he like grabs something and like pushes himself forward, and he just has this like this like evil grin on his face like the whole time. He's just floating through space here.
Evil airline too.
And we were just dying laughing about the floaty evil.
Yeah, it's funny.
But I have heard that in some circles, like it's like not necessarily even Final Fantasy fans, like it's kind of considered like a bit of a sci-fi cult classic among a certain group. So like I guess I could kind of respect it in that regard, but like I was so hyped for it because I was like, this is like, could you, like, video game movies have done it so wrong, and for the most part still have done it wrong, and like this was a movie directed by the guy who started the series and composed by the guy who did the music. Like
it should have been. I mean, I thought this was the same thing with Prince of Persia. Like, didn't like Jordan Mechner did he wrote that movie or did he direct it? Or no, it was Chris Roberts or Wing Commander.
Oh.
Like he created Wing Commander, and then he like directed the movie.
But I thought it was going to be like the greatest movie ever. Like it was just like, oh, it was going to be so good. And then like it's like nothing like Final Fantasy. Just nothing like Final Fantasy.
And it's funny with with that Sonic 2 trailer. Did you watch the Sonic 2 trailer?
I watched the one that came out like at the Super Bowl. Is that the same most recent one?
No, there's a new one that came out I think last week. They had that like really awesome poster.
Yeah.
I mean, like that is a great example of them just saying, we're gonna do it like in a way that the fans are definitely gonna like it. They're not setting out to like change the overall like tone or anything of the game. Like maybe they were at one point, but then they realized like the best way to do this is just to
do what they want.
Do what they want, yeah. and I think that's probably why they're considered like it's considered pretty decent. But the second one looks like it's just like, okay, so that worked with the first one, so we're just gonna like really give.
I mean, I still have not seen the first movie, but it's amazing to me that like it's the same director on the second movie, because you would think someone who had like conceived this movie that like, ended up having this horrible like Sonic design initially. Like you would think that this director would be a guy who didn't get it. And then I guess it just worked out once they like, listen to the feedback. But you would think that original director would be like, well, but this isn't the kind of movie I want to make, and they wouldn't have done the second one. But they stuck with it. So that's really interesting to me that like the second movie was starring in such a different place from the first movie, but it's still the same director. That's just interesting, I think.
Yeah. I think it looks good, and my kids are excited to see it. So I'll definitely go and see that in the movie theater with them. Because we saw the first one, I don't know if the first one like it probably benefited a lot from being the last big hit before everything closed down.
Yeah, well, I mean, I thought it was like, I remember thinking for the longest time, like when movie theaters were closed, like for I don't know how long, like a year, I don't know. And like every time I drove by my like nearest movie theater, I thought like, can you imagine telling someone in like the year 1990 that 30 years from now, Jim Carrey as Dr. Robotnik is going to be like a poster of that is going to be hung up at movie theaters for an entire year. Like,
well, you think back in when movies when they were in theaters for a lot longer than that, like, but not in 1990.
yeah, but I mean, it's like it's crazy to think like who would think that Jim Carrey as Dr. Robotnik was going to be hung at movie theaters for so long? Like, who would have thought that would exist? And then it's just this unreal thing is just like staring you in the face every time you pass a movie theater. Like, it is surreal.
Yeah. Well, when I saw that poster and then I saw that trailer, I was like, and this is coming from someone who, just is. I'm not like a huge Sonic fan. I like, the. Like the original ones, and I really like Sonic Mania. And like Sonic Adventure 1 was okay, and Sonic Generations was pretty decent, but I'm not like this. Like there's some really hardcore Sonic fans out there.
Sure.
I'm definitely like I'm not one of them.
I don't really even consider myself a Sonic fan at all. But I play the game sometimes,
Yeah.
But I do want to see the movie eventually. I mean, I hear it's good.
It's on the Voodoo.
I know. I'm gonna go to the bathroom.
But it's just like this new one. It feels like they are just saying, let's just go all in on this and just have some fun with it. I wonder how much of it is going to even take place on Earth. Like I don't know how much. Like it doesn't even seem like the main human character from the first movie is like barely in the trailer, and I would be completely okay if they use that to just springboard into like a more realistic looking CG movie. Like I think that would be okay. Because eventually they're going to have to do that anyways, I think. But it seems like they're just having fun with it. Any thoughts on the last Matrix flick? Thought it was pretty clever with trope subversion. I guess I can talk about it since Try's not here. I thought it was okay. I didn't really care for it that much. I felt like the action, the way it was shot, felt like a lot worse, I guess. It didn't feel super necessary to me. But it was okay. I don't feel as though I have a need to watch it ever again. But the first one is is a pretty high up on my list of like movies that I really like. Yeah, and it was just like kind of a like the ending was very similar to the ending of the first one. And honestly, if you just watch the first one, that's all you even need.
if you just watch the first
In a
one,
way,
that's all
it's
you need. What is this movie going to be that Corey's talking about?
The Matrix.
Oh. I thought there might be many possible series that could have been.
Yeah, well, it could be, but I feel as though the first Matrix is, you only need to watch the first one, and if you ended it with that, like that's totally fine. There was $1.99 from Dial Up Chronicles. Thank you.
Still love that name.
Saying TGIS.
Thank goodness it's Sunday.
Yes.
Who would think anyone would be excited for Sunday evening? We tried to make something good about, getting ready for Monday, I guess. So, I recently learned from John Linneman, who relatively recently discovered himself, that the Japanese version of ActRaiser 2, which is, believe it or not, a little more expensive than the US version, which is unusual, is easier. The main reason I had not gotten ActRaiser 2 was because I knew how brutal it was. Like, I actually do not really have a problem with an idea of an ActRaiser sequel that does, that just does all platforming. But I mean, it was several years ago, Drum streamed this, and he had a real rough time with it.
Yeah, I remember that.
And
but he did he did hard mode too. Didn't he leave his system on?
I guess he. But well, here's the thing. I've been trying to remember. I kind of want to say that he played it during his Retron 5 days, and that could have contributed partly to how hard it was, because Super Nintendo lag on the Retron 5 is pretty bad.
Yeah.
But apparently, there's just a lot of elements in the American version that's just if you don't do this jump exactly right, you're going to hit this spike or something, and it's going to kill you instantly. And, things like that just are much more forgiving in the Japanese version. John was saying he still recommended starting the Japanese version on easy. But you know what? I'm going to go for normal mode. Let's see how I do. I just wanted to see how. I just wanted to see how to go.
Can you watch if you haven't started the game? This is the kind of stupid things that I notice now, and I think about it is when you see that the ActRaiser title come on screen and it flies around and stuff, and I sit there and I'm like, oh man, I wish that they had the technology back then to add some easing on those keyframes of when it changes direction and stuff.
Yeah. But this has password, so if I get off to if I feel confident about my start, I might continue on the backloggery stream tomorrow. We'll see how things go. I hope this isn't. I mean, I know it's mostly a platformer. I for example, Diligence here. I had the American ROM on the Mister. I was using it the other day, and I wasn't even paying attention. I just kept tapping here. I'm like, why am I not going into the level? But the level is over here, so I don't think there's really anything. Oh, okay. So if you hit B, it brings up your password. It looks like it says butts. What say you?
Gaming Blow's asking if I ever appear on backloggery stream, or is that purely a try endeavor? I've been on a few times, but it's been a couple of years now. I think
it's mostly my thing.
Yeah. I mean, there's been times where I've been visiting, and I've been on there.
Yeah.
Years ago, we played Contra Hardcore, or not Contra Hardcore, Hardcore Uprising on there.
Yeah. That was a good long time ago.
Yeah, it was like... That was before I moved into the last house. Did I tell you about... I think that we got our meter changed out this weekend. We can... like fully turn on our solar panels.
You don't have to pay a thing then.
What?
You don't have to pay a thing for power after that. Like, you own it.
I mean, no, it will. The solar should cover like roughly around like 75% of our monthly bill.
Oh, okay. So the meter is being changed out, but it's like it switches over when it's needed?
Yes. Essentially, yeah. I mean, the house should be completely like self-sufficient through the like the summer months and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But it's fun because they installed this thing called Sense in our breaker box, and it shows you how much power you're using at any time.
Mm-hmm.
And it's kind of funny because like as it goes on, it'll like it matches. It's connected to the internet, so I can like see it. I can check it on the like on my phone, and it'll like be able to like compare like, oh, suddenly something turned on and it's suddenly using this like if you're using like this thing just turned on, you're using the microwave or whatever, and it will slowly figure out what everything is. And it's been fun watching that. Make sure I have surge protectors on all my gear. I do.
Yeah.
But they said that it should be no like I shouldn't even be able to tell. Like they're, you know, it just goes into the box. And
you know, there is
like
no
inverter or something like that.
such thing I've determined as a surge protector that doesn't have like one of the top reviews on Amazon or whatever is like, this almost burned my house down.
It does not exist.
It does not exist. Every surge protector
I know
almost burned down
it's
someone's
like that
house.
with anything on there.
It's like one of the top reviews. Was
Every
this
time,
review
yeah, it's
helpful?
like, oh, it's crap. Like this and that. Yeah, but that's like almost everything. What was I looking at the other day?
You want to sit here? You want to sit on my lap?
So, based on suggestions, like we had one of the Ring doorbells until recently, and we've been slowly switching over to Blink because I like the fact that you don't have to have a subscription service with that, and you can use uses these like sync units for like your cameras and your doorbell and cameras and everything.
That's what I thought.
And it just like you can put a flash drive in there. So it's instead of like sending all your stuff to a cloud, it just stores it on a flash drive. So ideally, you know, like that's going to be get rid of like having to pay like yearly whatever for that. Because what we wanted was, you know, like an outdoor camera to put in the backyard for when the dog's out back and stuff. Because she always just like goes on the tie out, but
The what?
what do you call it? Like it's the tie out. That's what we call it, where it's like a it's just like a long leash thing tied to a stake in the ground, so she can run around in the backyard and stuff, and not have to worry about her like running away or getting, you know, like whatever. But you know, I can put that on the. I can just like watch her out back.
Mm-hmm.
To get this solar installed, like everything, it's going to be, it's going to take us, it's like a decent amount. It won't fully start paying for itself for several years, but after a certain point, if we can try and pay it off quicker, then faster it'll happen. So the thing is, though, is that solar really made a lot of sense for us here because nothing in our house is gas. Like the only thing that we have that's gas in our house is like our backup heating. No, not less than 10,000. Much more than 10,000. But like everything in this house is electric.
Gas freaks me out. Like I'm so glad I don't have gas. Like it just, I don't even understand why that's like even a major thing. Like it freaks me out. My parents have it, but I just, I guess it's more efficient or something, but I think it's scary.
So one of the reasons, we decided to go through it at the time is that right now, Kentucky is one of the few remaining states that offer like one in and one out, like equal in and equal out.
What does that mean?
So our energy company, Duke Energy, will like pay us a certain amount for the exact same amount that they will charge us for it in the winter months. They will pay us, so we earn a credit. It's like 1-to-1 credit, essentially. Like the house will during the summer months will generate more energy than what we use. So the Duke Energy like buys that for like say like $1, right? Like every unit or whatever for $1. In a lot of other states, they will, buy it for a certain amount, and then when you need to buy it back from them during the winter months, it will be like they'll charge you like 50% more than what they paid you. So right now it's just an equal 1-to-1, and I think that it locks us into that deal. And even if they do eventually change it, we still are like locked into that. Yeah, I mean it's all like coexists with the grid.
There's a points thing that pops up after I kill an enemy. I'm not sure if they are
weird.
If like it's experience points or just score. I feel like I remember struggles of drum jumping from certain leaves in this. So we'll see if I have as much trouble. I want to say there's definitely some nuanced mechanics to it, in terms of like I mean, there's only jump and attack, but there's definitely some nuance to how you swoop, and I don't know about attacking while swooping, like how you want to go about that. But it's, the action sections, the platforming sections in ActRaiser 1 are very simplistic.
Yeah.
And I appreciate that,
Yeah.
But there's a little more nuance here, and it can be sort of technical and difficult.
Yeah. There is 10 QAR from PS Faz.
Thank you.
The message just says cheese fries.
Sounds like a good
Cheese
idea to me.
fries. Where do you stand on Andy Cap hot fries?
What?
You ever had Andy Cap's hot fries?
Who's Andy Cap?
I don't know. He's just a cartoon character.
What?
He has like a hat that's like pulled over his eyes.
Is this like a chain or something?
I mean, I assume that they're available like every place.
Like is it a grocery store item? I mean,
like, I don't. You got to look him up. You got to look up Andy Cap. Is it Andy Cap?
I'll go look it up right now. Andy Cap. What was
Andy
it?
Cap hot fries.
Andy Cap hot fries. Is it one word like Andy Cap?
No, it's like a name. ANDYCAPP, I think.
Andy Cap's hot fries.
They're a premium gas station snack.
Oh, okay. Yeah, it looks like it looks like oh, I could pick it up at Walmart today.
You should do it.
I
mean,
was
they
planning to do a Walmart
kinda.
grocery pickup, so I will add some to my cart right now. It's a big bag of them too. I hope I like them.
They're good. Like they got to be like completely 100% made out of just like chemicals.
Are they like veggie straws kinda? Like, you know what I'm talking about?
Like kind of, I guess. It's like if veggie straws were just made out of synthetic material, maybe.
I mean, how do you know veggie
I don't
straws
know.
are
Like,
not
I would be real curious to see like what part of hot fries are actually like made from real food.
So the question is though, do you like them?
Oh yeah. Yeah, I mean, I'll like eat like a whole bag. But I haven't had them in probably like over 10 years.
Oh, okay. I had no idea this was some long-standing
I definitely
thing.
grew up having them.
No, I am totally unaware of these.
You know, it's funny. I don't know what it was that sparked that. It was the cheese fries.
The cheese fries.
And they mentioned cheese fries. So, I mean, I haven't thought about hot fries and.
Are they spicy? Are they a little spicy? Is that why they're called hot fries?
They're not. I wouldn't say that they're spicy. I mean, they're just like kind of hot, I guess. They're only hot, but the thing is like they. If you ever thought like Cheeto dust was bad, this is like much worse than Cheeto dust.
No, like Cheetos and Doritos, despite marketing, are definitely not gaming foods.
Yeah, I don't get that.
I don't know if Cheetos are really marketed as gaming foods, but Doritos are.
I mean, the only way that they're gaming foods is like if you don't care about getting that crap on your controllers.
Yeah.
And I'm, based on the kind of things you see like on Marketplace, I don't think a lot of people really care.
When you eat Cheetos, do you just eat all you're going to eat and then wash your hands, or do you I'll have like a paper towel and I'll like wipe my hands like after every single bite.
Really?
Yeah. Which actually, it's usually not that bad if you do that. Like, you don't necessarily have to wash your hands after eating Cheetos if you do that. But if I'm going to game afterwards or use a computer or something, I definitely would.
Yeah.
Especially considering my new trackball is white.
Someone was asking me earlier if I live in northern Kentucky or if I live in Cincinnati proper, and I live in northern Kentucky. I just say Cincinnati because it's like literally right there.
You basically are in Cincinnati.
Yeah.
I was telling you though when we were in Japan, I was like, you should really, when people ask where you're from, you should really say Kentucky, because I bet Kentucky, because of KFC, is more impressive in Japan. Ohio just sounds like good morning in Japanese.
Oh, yeah.
I remember we were asked where we were from when we were at that book off that we went to, like right before we had to go catch our flights.
Yeah.
And I remember he asked, like, the clerk at the book off asked where we were from. We're like, oh, we're from U.S. He's like, yeah, but where? I was like,
yeah.
I wasn't expecting like someone to like actually be curious about like the distinction of where in the U.S.
Yeah. So that's a good suggestion. Is that Chris V is saying a friend of mine used to use chopsticks to eat popcorn and things like Cheetos while playing games. You know what? I think that they have something like that.
Do I have like a
I'm almost positive that I've seen an ad on Instagram for something like that. I think that I laughed about it for like at least 15 minutes. And they're all they are is just like plastic tongs.
Mm-hmm.
Like I think it's just like if you just like look at like tongs, like gaming. Put in gaming food. Hang on, gaming food tongs or chopsticks.
Are those flags or scrolls or whatever? Are they my
There
lives?
they are. They look like Wolverine claws. Will you do me a favor? Go on your phone and just like put in gamer chopsticks.
Gamer chopsticks.
They go in between your fingers. It's hilarious. I was like laughing for so long about them.
I mean, it can't be as funny as you are describing. Oh gosh. It's got like a picture of like a guy's hand on the mouse. That can't be comfortable. Like a mouse, I could imagine holding that with, but like a controller.
Yeah, well, that's the whole point. Is like they just go. I don't know. Yeah, I probably eat less. Just doing it that way.
Oh, here's a picture of people holding them with like a PlayStation or Xbox style controller.
Yeah, Crispy says it seems to be exactly as funny as he was describing them. I mean, they're pretty funny, right?
It is pretty funny. That's pretty funny. I wonder if I would be any better with those than real chopsticks.
I don't know, but like
I'm not too good with real chopsticks.
They're like under $10. I mean, maybe you should get one. That's like I wish I had a set on hand when I was doing the one chip challenge.
Well, maybe I'll do the one chip with some chopsticks, and then I'll probably drop it, and that would be bad.
No, you got to get the gamer chopsticks.
Maybe I'll do that.
And don't just get like one pair. You're gonna have to get like several in case you don't have to do dishes every day.
Yeah, I am bad at actually running the dishes. So
really,
oh yeah.
I'm sure anybody with kids in the chat can relate, but I feel as though you got to run the dishwasher like almost every day, and the washing machine every day somehow.
I most definitely am a live out of the dishwasher if the dishes are clean kind of guy. Like if they're clean, like just take them out as you need them.
Yeah.
That's unfortunately the Triforce way. And then, you obviously you don't put, you don't put dirty dishes back in the dishwasher. You have to.
Is this the boss?
Yeah, he doesn't
like,
take his...
I'm gonna conquer the world with the help of my giant snail. Who's like embedded into the wall. Like what even happened? Like that thing can't do anything.
He's pretty tough though. He doesn't take a lot of damage very quickly. Oh wait, do I have some kind of are the scrolls magic? The scrolls have to be magic. Is it like I bet it's up an attack. Can you look that up for me?
Yeah, let me read this donation from Mega X6 while I do that.
Thank you.
$7 from Mega X6. Thank you. Saying, loving the stream. Always enjoy some retro goodness Sunday evening. MLiG, hard, heavy console gamer, and GameSack on Sunday is always fun.
Oh, you mean GameSack release on Sunday? I was like, GameSack
yeah.
releases on Sunday?
And I was just watching. Happy Console Gamer did a video talking about how he's been on YouTube for 14 years.
Wow.
But that got me thinking,
impressive.
like, next year is going to be like 10 years.
10 years, yeah. I mean, you know, if we were like, you know, early on the YouTube bandwagon, we'd be like, you know, rich now or something. But
You'd probably be about as big as log.zip.
what?
I don't know. It's like whoever my son watches. His Minecraft. His name is log.zip. I don't know. He does Minecraft.
But like, we've really been on YouTube, like, basically, like, we've been on YouTube basically as long as we haven't been on YouTube in terms of the overall existence of YouTube.
Yeah. It's true.
Like, we were on YouTube, like, what, 8 years into it? So, yeah. Crazy, huh?
Yeah, it's
So did you find out where if up an attack, like, I don't want to be flailing around fighting this giant world-eating snail.
I'm looking at the guide and walkthrough by Turtle Soupage.
Well, while you're looking for the controls, I'll read Replicant 813's 499 super chat. Thank you.
Don't remember you can use your shield too. Remember?
Yes.
You can probably, I think you can change the direction.
You can. I wonder if I could. I probably can't just block those.
The rocks.
The rocks. You think you can block the rocks? I guess I'll try it. But he says, "Did you see the recent Ghouls and Ghosts arcade ROM hack for Genesis? It's really impressive." I did see that there was something.
I think it's just
about
the first
that.
level's done right now.
What was? Does it change like the color or something?
Yeah, it's just like redoing like a lot of the backgrounds and stuff to be closer to the arcade.
But you're like such a big fan of the Genesis version itself. I don't know if you really like that.
Yeah, well, there was a version, like, I think it was when it was first revealed. There was a YouTube video where it's comparing the sound and stuff between them, and I really felt like they were just trying to make like the original Genesis version sound like way worse than it actually does.
Oh, I mean, were they using original hardware?
I don't know.
Like the arcade version, I think Ghouls and Ghosts sounds really bad in the arcade. Like the audio filters in Mister kind of help, but I don't like how the arcade version of that game sounds. And I'll tell you, there's actually an audio comparison using Ghosts and Goblins, and I like the sound of the music in that game. That first level music, I like how it sounds in that game a lot better than arcade Ghouls and Ghosts. Super Nintendo version's the iconic one to me, though. That's just me.
To cast spells, hold the attack button until the master starts flashing red. While flashing, performing various actions such as jumping and holding joypad directions will allow you to cast the spell in different directions.
Oh.
So it's just a charge.
But you have to... But, like, so you do different spells depending on... Oh, that totally does block the rocks. I can't believe it. Oh, that's pretty good against that.
Oh yeah. While flashing, various actions such as jumping and holding joypad directions will allow you to cast different spells. Yes.
Okay, yeah, this is okay. This is now I'm glad it shows like a different color in the middle of the screen depending on what direction you're holding. Oh yeah, this is great. Oh, it looked like that should have blocked that laser, but maybe I was a little off. I can't believe your shield can block those rocks. I mean, they're huge.
There's $5
This is really
from
close.
Dominic Rinaldi saying, "Hello, Coury. It's me, your
Oh,
29-year-old son. Don't you remember me?" Well, that's okay. You missed some birthdays if you let me play your games.
Man, that slug just looked so old and tired and sad when he died. He was just like, "Ugh."
29 years. 29-year-old son. Dang. We're almost the same. We're reasonably closer in age.
Is there any reason to do anything at the towns?
I'm sure they wouldn't be there if not.
Well, I mean, like the angel just says something.
Let's see. Is this the same world from the first one, or is it just like a unique world? Do you think?
Probably is the same.
But I don't know how far off that completed ROM hack is. I mean, it's definitely impressive, but
Look at that pit. Well,
I really like the original Genesis version, so it's gonna be hard for me to feel like it's gonna be like any kind of replacement or anything like that. It's neat, but I don't think it will be the definitive version of the game on the system. Man, that's pretty grotesque. Frank Borst is asking if you've had any development in your Japanese language skills.
I have been very lax in that as of late. I have not really been studying anything for a while now. I definitely intend to get back on it though, for sure. Like, I want to say that might have been it, where, like, John was saying, like, there's certain things that, like, if you don't, like, do this really difficult jump just right, like, you'll hit this thing and then you'll just, like, instantly die. But that didn't happen here. What are these birds even?
Thoughts on Death Stranding? We both really liked it.
Yeah, I mean,
I would get the director's cut eventually.
Yeah, I want to get it too. Like you, I think took a little longer to warm up to it than I did.
Yeah.
It's definitely weird and unusual, but I liked it. I liked it a lot by the end. I mean, yeah. I should have very much expected this of Kojima, but I was honestly surprised that, like, everything was explained.
Yeah.
Like the premise is so bizarre that it's just like, how could there be an explanation for this? You know?
I'll be curious to see what he does next.
Yeah. I mean, really, that game took less time to be developed than you would think, honestly. Like, starting up a new studio and all that, like it.
Yeah.
You know, you use the Decima engine, you know, so that helped, I'm sure. But it's still impressive to me how relatively quickly that got made. So there's a 1-up that just seems to always be there. That's good. This level kind of gives me like a Souls vibe.
I wonder how much Kojima comes up with himself though, or if he needs help with certain things, like elaborating on certain things, or if he just has it all in the back of his brain someplace already all figured out.
Yeah, I mean he might. I mean, I'm sure he does a lot of research and asks people who might know certain things, especially a lot of specifics of he has. I mean, for Metal Gear, he had a military advisor and stuff like that.
Yeah. Yeah. But I don't know. I think that there's probably a lot of
I think he just does a lot of research on things he's interested in.
Yeah. It doesn't surprise me he already had the idea in his head for it. I'm just saying for all the surrounding information. And I wonder if all that stuff has to go through him. And it seems as though he would just be reading stuff these more fleshed out ideas or descriptions of things all the time.
I mean, doesn't he say that his wasn't his old Twitter profile or something my body is 90% movies or something like that?
Yeah, but this goes beyond that.
He just consumes a lot of media and information, I think.
Yeah. Oh, interesting. Rory McGrady is saying, I think Ryan Payton once said something about how Kojima has a unique talent for translating what is in his head into making a game. And that is a good way to think about it. He just is really good at having fully fleshed out ideas, I guess. And making them a reality without not knowing what to do. Wasn't the book he just put out basically just him saying what media he consumed and if he liked it or not? Does he go into any explanations of why he liked it or didn't like it? Because I think that would be interesting. I would read that, where it's just him giving his opinions on tons and tons of pieces of media.
For some reason, I can't imagine Kojima saying oh, this is bad. I feel like he seems like the kind of guy that would find something interesting about everything.
Yeah. There's Andy64 has been a member for 2 months.
Nice.
Says, good evening, everyone. If Sega ever eventually announced the Master System Mini, which games would you like to see on there?
Well, obviously all the Wonder Boy stuff. That would be the
yeah,
main thing. And Fantasy Star.
I'd say Quartet. I mean, I could. Golden Axe Warrior would have to be on there. Let me bring up my list, and I can just go right down my list.
Poorly done.
It would need to have R-Type, but it would have to have the flicker fixed in it. The Ninja, definitely. Troplifter, definitely. Govelius, for sure. The first Alex Kidd, for sure.
Alright, you're giving this a much better lineup than I would have thought. What about Master of Darkness?
I mean, I barely played it, so I can't really say much about it.
Seems pretty interesting.
One game that I was playing quite a bit, I mean, not quite a bit, but a bit more than I was expecting to when I was doing that segment in the Mister is Maze Hunter 3D.
Oh.
Yeah, it's kind of a cool game.
You know, speaking of Shinobi, what if you watched it, what'd you think of that Shinobi-like game in the new game stack? Did you ever heard of it?
It looks pretty cool. Looks pretty cool.
You know, it's kind of got that, you know, like HD art look that can be hit or miss, you know.
Mm-hmm. Great basketball.
Great basketball.
Psycho Fox, Rastan.
I have a soft spot for Psycho Fox, even though it's definitely pretty janky, but like it's just it fascinates me.
Yeah.
I put
both Zillions would have to be on there.
I put a little bit of magical hat in the AV section. But you saw
what is
in the AV section that game that you streamed a while back. This, you know, basically the Japanese decapitate magical hat.
Yes.
I put some of it's in the AV Mister section. When I am describing what the vertical crop setting does.
Oh, okay. Gaming Blows says they sent something to the Twitter, but I'm not seeing anything on Twitter. Was it a DM? Oh my god, the Game Chasers are here.
Oh, wow.
Congrats on the movie.
Yeah, I've not. I mean, is it widely available yet?
No, it's still going out to the backers right now. I think that I'm not sure if the backers have a way to watch it directly yet. I know that they're doing a screening at is it like the Too Many Games event that's coming up here?
Nice.
That's awesome. You know, I'm really looking forward to seeing it, and you know, it's still so cool to me that Game Dave is in it.
Yeah, and what, like, y'all had real deal like movie production stuff going on, like.
Oh yeah.
Like that. It's just so impressive to me that you were able to pull that together. Like that's absolutely like I can't even imagine. Honestly, it's very impressive to me.
After this Mr. video is done, like I'm gonna do a basement tour video. Drives will be a little bit later, but you know we're long-winded enough now that we can we can
like a heal spell or something?
do separate videos at this point.
Can you look up what the spell effects are if there's a heal spell? Like there was one that I thought like the icon for it looked like it might be a heal, but
Let's see here.
Didn't do it.
There's flame, energy ball, spark, frost balls, lightning bolt, energy thrust, and phoenix. There's nothing to heal. You can try.
It's unfortunate.
You can try the frost balls. Shoots 4 balls of frost out of the master. Jump and release the attack button.
These birds are so weird. They're just like in the way. I swear, sometimes I like duck to block the attacks from those statue things, and
it's got to feel like almost surreal that when you were like editing that movie, at so many points it felt like it was so far off, and you just think about this thing it's going to be so long from now before this thing is seen by anybody. And now you look back on it, and now it's been, I guess your premiere was January 28th. So it's like been almost 2 months now. You spend so much time waiting to hit that finish line. And then now it's been like so long since, I guess. It's funny though. I mean, do you think that, like, would you say if it was released in theater, like, I mean, if it was like, what is it, like the MPAA, like, was to rate it? I'm not sure if they need to, or whatever. Would you say it's like a PG-13? I'm guessing it's probably PG-13. I'm just wondering because my kids are huge Game Day fans. It's so funny to me because
didn't you say that your son didn't believe you when you said that you're like friends with him?
Yeah.
Does he still not believe you?
What?
Does he still not believe you?
Well, I think that maybe, but he doesn't quite understand, understand that I know have known him for you've known him for a long time.
You've known him like longer than your son has been alive.
Yeah, and like that's why I think it's funny. Like I kind of want to ask Dave if he would send like me a video message that I could that's like talking to him specifically, or that I could show Monty, saying like,
did you ever? You should show him the video, the soundtracks video.
I know.
Have you shown him that?
No, I haven't.
I was
going to, but he left. He left the room. But it's funny just thinking about that because just no. Like the amount of clout that it gets me with my son.
Did he watch the Chocobo GP video? It's a little harder PG than Dave normally is, I think.
Yeah, like he was real.
He was mad.
Yeah. You know what is, Marc Lavallo is saying, I still have my Game Day bracelet that I got from him at a con 6 years ago. I gave mine to my son, and he wore it to school and everything.
Did any of his classmates ask him who's Game Dave?
No, I don't think so. I don't know.
Is that just points?
Yeah, I was waiting for that video to come out because I knew when I saw that he was going to be streaming that game, I tried the light version.
You tried before you saw the stream, and you were like,
yeah,
oof,
so I
not
knew
gonna
that
be
it was
happy.
not going to go well. Have you gotten your physical copy of that yet?
No, I haven't. I'm very curious what, if anything, it allows me to do. The light version does. I mean, I've only played like a teensy bit of the light version.
I asked you the other day. You didn't respond though. Is like, are you going to get those Mario Kart tracks?
Probably. Are they out yet?
We should do like a stream with a bunch of them.
Yeah, after some are out, I guess.
Well, the first
are some out?
Yeah, they came out last week. Like I don't know which ones. There's like two sets of courses. The first 8 are out.
Finally.
How many is there going to be total?
Like, is it like 40 or something? Like really stupid? It's like a lot.
The first 8 tracks, 2 cups are out.
That's quite a lot to start with, actually. How many waves is it going to be?
It's 48 total.
That is crazy. I mean, there was
the same as the original total.
There
6 waves.
There was like I haven't heard, I guess now like I didn't even know they were out. Like I remember initially there was a lot of kind of criticism that like, oh, these look like they're just like the geometry and textures are just like recycled from Mario Kart Tour, and people were saying that like from at least the trailer, it looked like they might not fit in that well with the.
Well, I heard that the first the reveal trailer made them look bad, and then it's amazing the amount of polish that they put on before they came out.
Really? So people seem happy.
Yeah. There's like one person who tweeted at us for some reason saying like complaining about how the item boxes like reappear almost instantly or something like that after you pick them up.
Isn't that kind of a thing? And I thought that was already a thing.
I've seen people say that they're above Mario Kart Tour, but not up to the OG levels.
I guess OG 8.
Yeah. Did you hear about what was happening in Gran Turismo 7 this week?
Oh yeah, like where it was like offline for so long.
Yeah, I mean I guess it was like offline for like 30 hours or something like that.
Wow. Yeah, that's
And a big part of that was so they could change how much money you can earn. And they actually like made it harder.
Oh gosh. I can't believe, why would you do this?
Yeah, it's got to be so frustrating and disappointing because, they just spent so long working on that game. And I wonder how involved they are in even what the like those kind of decisions, like at the.
Well, I mean, I think the same thing about Chocobo Racing. Like, think about the people who just made the music in the game. Like, like they were probably like, oh, this is a fun thing to do. And like, I never like to crap on a game too much for business decisions, because the actual creative people who made the game, like, their work is not the reason for these issues,
Yeah.
Like, it
And apparently,
sucks,
they after all that, they added a car that is 6 times more expensive than anything before the patch.
How did that work? It looked like the down thrust on, like, really wrecked that thing.
Oh yeah, that's how you get through there.
I know. Well, it seemed really hard, but wow, the down thrust, like, is the down thrust just stronger in general, or is it just more effective against these guys? Because, like, a straight on attack did not seem very effective, and that's what I've been doing. But yeah, this is a game changer. I wish I figured this out when I had 5 lives still. Yeah, like, it takes 2 normal hits. Like, down thrust is...
Finally, Gaming Blows made the Drackle. The Drackle!
Oh!
Anthony Hopkins animated GIF. I'm gonna take that and put the big... Can you just put the big white letters that say Drackle? Isn't that what he's saying? Drackle! But it sounds like he's saying Drackle.
Okay, now I'm going to fight a boss, and it's going to go really poorly.
Thank you.
Whoa, look at the pixels on this thing.
I gotta save that. Yes.
Oh, this thing's going fast. Oh, I kind of had a chance if I was more careful. Is there a 0th life?
Oh, I didn't realize that.
Ah, there's no 0th life.
$2 from For Love of the Game saying John's GT video ruled the Omega Boost section. I've not seen it yet.
Oh, I didn't know I didn't know the finished thing was. I guess it's the subscribers.
Yeah.
I can beat this level. Let's see, was this the one? Modero? I didn't realize, like, it seems like you can do levels in any order.
Yeah.
I didn't realize it was set up that way.
Well, we're on the Discord. I mean, we have access to the Patreon stuff.
Yeah.
We can.
I just did not know it was out. I mean, John, kind of let me get some previews in.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, he sent me like the first 35 minutes or whatever early in the week.
Gave a little feedback.
I meant to watch it. I just didn't because I was too focused on this.
It's really good. I mean, even as someone who is not, like, interested in GT for my own play, like, it's just the number. I mean, he was teasing it on Twitter, just like the sheer number of, like, GT adjacent games, like, that were coming out on the market. Like, it's like how much he ties it all in and, like, compares, like, certain visual features to other games that were doing certain things, and it's really cool to see.
There's £2 from 00.
Thank you.
Asking if we tried Elden Ring yet.
I have not. I mean, you're not a Souls fan. I am.
Yeah, but it also seems like so gigantic. Like it's like Souls in Breath of the Wild. It just seems like okay, that's the only game you basically are gonna play for a year.
I mean, I'm definitely looking forward to playing it. But I have not yet. Although I'd been saying, when I get my new TV, I was like, oh, I want to do Horizon Forbidden West is the game that I break it in with, but I've been considering maybe Elden Ring. I don't know. I like, part of me wants to beat Sekiro first. I started that I started it, but I'm gonna have to restart at this point. It just, I fully intended to continue it at that time, and I just, you know how it goes. But the thing that scares me about the argument I could see for just going straight for Elden Ring and then going back to Sekiro later, though. I mean, there's actually kind of two arguments you could make. For one, like, the performance situation in Elden Ring is not like it does not lock to 60 frames per second, whereas on PlayStation 5 with Sekiro being backwards compatible, I can lock to 60 FPS on that. So that's, in some ways it could be argued to be an upgrade. That was really lame. Oh, cool. It starts me at the boss because it's a different scene. That's very nice. Oh, I got this guy if I don't do anything so stupid. Why can't I get on that platform? Oh my gosh. But the other thing too is, part of me, like, Sekiro does not have co-op, which is a little frightening, actually. Because I have, like, my, the Souls hardcore would poo-poo this, but, like, my, general strategy with Souls games has been to, his hitbox keeps getting much smaller. Oh, I'm out of magic. I thought I had magic still. Oh, and I guess my magic doesn't replenish when I continue. That's okay. It's okay. But anyway, I can barely talk about video games while I'm trying to fight this stupid thing. Can I, like... No, I can't down thrust them. I wonder if those enemies would drop anything if I actually tried fighting them. Let me try. I'll try it. It'd be nice if they dropped MP. But, okay, yes, video games. Talking about video games. I just want to see if these enemies drop something that would be helpful. But I don't think they do. But yeah, like, so Elden Ring has co-op, and, like, part of me, like, wants to play Elden Ring when there's still, like, a lot of people, like, playing it for the first time, so that they don't just, like, completely cheese the bosses for me. But my general way of playing through these games has typically been to, like, usually when I get to the boss for the first time, I'm dead, of course. Which I guess Elden Ring doesn't have the dead mechanic. But then, I would put down my, like, summon sign, and I would, like, get summoned by random people, and, like, I would kind of learn the boss while helping them, and then, like, after I have taken on the boss enough times that way, oh god, no, yes! Once I've taken down the boss enough times that way, then I'm like, okay, now I'm ready to, like, summon my own crew and do this.
Yeah.
So, like, that's the scary part about Sekiro. And part of me wants to do Elden Ring before everyone that is playing the game is just, like, cheesing all the bosses, Which, I mean, cheesing is fine, but, like, I want to have some semblance of a fight on the bosses, All right. Oh,
Or it says
oh, so
says
like,
that-
I guess are they trying to like Tymponia is bigger now. So the text is probably telling me like, oh, because you beat, the awful monsters, the town is bigger. Because they were like, it showed the town get bigger. So maybe they were just. So there's like something here that's like Demon's Cave. That's like not the normal like level symbol. Like that actual level is gone, but some of the other levels look like they're still there. And Dustin and Benefic, I think those were the first levels I did. I wonder if there's a reason to go back later. Anyway, I'm going to get this password, and then maybe I'll pop in something else random. I don't know.
Yeah.
Since it's
I feel as though
it's
like
not worth starting another level at this point.
yeah, and I don't want to go to like almost midnight tonight. I would rather go on the closer side to 11. If we
can. Let's see.
Oh, did you continue playing that Final Fantasy IV playthrough at all?
No. I don't know if I necessarily have intentions of finishing it or not. I just wanted to play it.
There's $20. Thank you from EB Chill 2. Dang, thank you. Saying, hey guys, just got home from work. Have you tried the latest Final Fantasy Stranger to Paradise?
I assume demo you're asking.
No, the game's out. It came out.
Oh, did it? Did it?
Yeah, sorry, I asked. Have a great week. See you on backlog rate, Travelers.
I have not tried the demo. I mean, I'm not going to try. I mean, I've tried a little bit of the first demo, like enough to be like, okay, like, in spite of the kind of obnoxious presentation, like there seems to be some gameplay trappings that I am interested in here. Like there seems to be some good stuff going on. So like I want to get the game, so I don't necessarily need to try more demos. I mean, I've kind of heard people saying like the level of cringe that it is like kind of a nice sweet spot where it's like kind of enjoyable, like the scenario related badness.
Yeah, I heard that if you just kind of take it for the cheesiness, then it's kind of fun.
Yeah. And the game seems like genuinely interesting. Like the thing that really interested me from the demo was the first demo I played was that you kind of like pick up these moves and you build your own combos. So instead of like your typical like Devil May Cry or Musou style, like, square, 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 triangle for this character is always this, or square triangle is this, and square, square, square triangle is this. You choose what is square triangle and what is square, square, square triangle, and so forth. Like that's like building your own moveset in that way is actually really interesting to me.
Well, now it's got me thinking. Somebody is saying, Kinto Zero is saying, I heard that it makes you want to replay the original Final Fantasy. So is it like canon to that game then, or what? It makes me wonder if they're gonna do similar style action games for each game, because I would would you not totally play a Final Fantasy IV prequel where it's just like you control like Dark Knight Cecil like the whole time?
Yeah.
I mean, that sounds kind of cool.
That sounds amazing. I mean, I love the idea of like, a modern HD realization of the world of Final Fantasy 1, but I'm kind of unsure at this point how much it's really going to feel like that. I guess we'll just have to wait and see. I mean, Of course, it's not like that high fidelity because the comparisons to like the Xbox 360 aesthetic are definitely warranted.
Mm-hmm.
What am I gonna play? What am I gonna play?
Yeah. So John Robb is saying the story of Stranger of Paradise is actually incredible, and I'm not being ironic. By the end, it's legitimately amazing.
That's awesome. And I saw someone else said, where was it?
I kind of wanted to spoil it for myself.
Jack from Stranger of Paradise, 80s action hero in 2022. That is why there is hype building and people are loving it. I mean, I love 80s action heroes.
Yeah.
Here, I know what I'm going to grab. I need to clean it, though. I haven't cleaned it yet.
How long is it supposed to be? Because part of me is like tempted to give it a shot because I know so little about it. And if it is, say, under 20 hours, that makes it sound way more appealing to me. No, I'm not gonna. I don't want to do the demo. I feel like I just want to. If people say, "Hey, you should play this," and if it's like under 20 hours, then like maybe I'll do it. I mean, is it like has anybody beaten it yet? Maybe that's the reason it's not. 25 to 30 hours for the interwebs for the main missions. Is it current gen exclusive? I have not played Paradise Killer. I do have the physical version pre-ordered though. Okay, the demo's the first part of the game with the save data carrying over. Okay. So I didn't realize that the new demo for Stranger in Paradise is just the first part of the game, and your save data can carry over. What is this? What is it? Oh.
This game has like one of the best first level themes of all time.
Yeah. And you bought it and got rid of it and rebought it.
So I got this. I think I bought it from Mad Gear Carlson. And did I give this to you or did I sell it?
I wish you gave it to me.
Yeah, so this was like not that expensive, and then I was still in my sometimes you clean up the collection a little bit. No, I shouldn't have gotten rid of it. I got rid of it because it's really hard. And I was I don't know if I'm ever going to be able to beat it. But I don't know if I guess I've given up on beating my backlog. But I still intend to beat games when I do buy them. Yes. But this game was starting to go up in price, but I found it for I want to say about the same price I originally bought it for, if not less. So, in the end, I might have profited from this. I'm not sure. But let's just see how far I get on one continue. But this level 1 music is... So this level 1 music is a cover of a...
You explain this. I'm going to use the bathroom real quick.
Yeah. This level 1 music is a cover from a band called... I forget what the band is called, a Japanese band, and the song is called Parachute Limit, and look it up on YouTube, and it's amazing. It's just like so happy and energetic and makes you feel like you can do anything. This game is pretty hard. And it looks cool. And of course, you know, people who've been watching a long time might know that this game is featured in the Famicom 3D system episode. Because if you hit the select button, whoa, look, that looks crazy. It's because it's the 3D glasses mode. This game is really hard. That 3D game over you saw spin it, like this game is pretty awesome, but it's really hard. Oh, that is very cool, Lottie. I desire to see this sometime. I actually recycled a shot from the Famicom 3D system episode for the Mr. video. And no, it does not have anything to do with 3D glasses. Not sure if the charge is like actually that good. It might be good for bosses. But I feel like the charge is probably mostly just trouble for... I've always been fascinated by like the NES way of doing a 3D perspective. Like there's something, I don't know, there's just something about that I find really interesting. Like obviously this game doesn't have hills, but like I always felt like Mode 7 not having hills, or at least I think there are some examples of Mode 7 kind of doing hills. I don't know how it was really done, but... But I used some kind of cheats to get... Or no, I think I used save states. Because if I remember, yeah. So I actually used the Retron 5 for showing like the late game footage in this game, because I could use save states with it. Back when I made this episode, it's an old episode, so Retron 5 was the best I could really do at the time. Like, there's no continues. I don't know if you earn continues, but it's a hard game, but it's really cool. I've already continued like twice. Like this game is so hard, but it's really cool. I wonder if there's any Mr. Cheats for it.
Oh, I'm sure.
Like, it is genuinely shocking to me, like, how many games have built-in cheats on it. Like, well, I mean, like, built-in
well,
if
when
you,
this
if
stuff
you use
is,
the
like,
update
the open
process.
source nature of it is, like, so anybody can just do it.
I know, but just the idea that people, like, would put in codes for just super random games, like, you know, like, I would expect it to just be on, like, you know, Super Mario Brothers and Zelda and stuff, you know?
Well...
Like, there was a... Like, I really wanted to use...
like, people that are super, like, into what they're doing, you know, like, everyone's finding their little thing, like, hey, yeah. I can do this.
Yeah. I used the cheat function... I used it for a couple of things, but the main thing I used it for was, well, I mean, I demonstrated how to do it, but I also used it because I really wanted to use the level 5 music in Legendary Axe. You know, it's been too long since I played that game to like easily get to level 5. But I love that level 5 music. And so I just use cheats to get there in like no time.
Yeah.
So that was...
No, it's nice.
That was,
you know, there was... I had to show like a little example of the adaptive composite blending in the Genesis core.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of people said, oh, you know, like the what the heck level in Earthworm Jim is a good example where it has dithered.
Is that like the fire level?
Yeah.
There's like a demo of that though.
But you can just put in the game. You can use the code in there, and I just jump straight to that. I start there.
Well, I think I've used that level before though. It's just in the like you can just like. Is it point the mouth? I think it is. Like I think if you let it sit on the tile screen though, it does have a demo on that level.
Oh.
I think.
Oh well,
But that may, I mean, you couldn't have easily made it like a comparison or showed an on-off, you know.
Yeah. But yeah, I think it's nice especially for like videos, and you just need to like show something real quick.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
And beat this first boss. That's kind of a freaky looking boss.
There we go.
Ooh. There's 2 pounds from 00 again. Thank you. Saying, what's your favorite retro and modern game, guys?
Are these two separate choices? I mean, gosh. I mean, my default answer for retro is Mario 3, but like, I mean, it's hard to say if that's even the case anymore. Like some of these things I feel like I just kind of have an answer for, but it's like I don't know like how true that answer is because there's just like too many games to consider, you know?
Yeah. I mean,
part of me almost feels like I like Mario 64 even more than Mario 3, for example, you know? Like, it's so hard to say, you know? As far as modern game, like, I mean, I have kind of defaulted this. I mean, it's kind of I feel like this is a boring choice. Just like Mario 3 is probably kind of a boring choice. I kind of feel like I guess Breath of the Wild is, I would say, maybe like my favorite game of the past decade.
That's yeah.
Like I think my top 2 games of the past like decade are Breath of the Wild and Resident Evil 2 Remake.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Space Harrier is probably my favorite retro game.
Oh, I didn't know Audie had been sick with COVID. That's sorry to hear that.
I did not. Oh, I did not.
That's what you get from hanging out with Bubsy, though.
Hopefully he's doing.
Hopefully.
Okay. No, or doing better at least.
Yeah.
Favorite modern game? God, I don't know. I mean, I played Uncharted 2 more than any other modern game, probably. I mean, like
it's not that modern anymore.
It's not that modern anymore.
So some people, that's their favorite game. There are adults whose favorite game of like childhood and teenage years was Uncharted 2.
That's a good choice though.
It is. If you're
if you're like that age.
Oh my gosh, I could imagine.
Like imagine like playing that for the first time. I mean, it was great the first time.
Oh, yeah.
I played it too.
Yeah, I've still never played the. I've never played the what was it, the Nathan Drake collection, the 60 FPS versions. I don't think I've ever.
Yeah, I haven't either.
I don't think I've ever even booted it.
Really?
I don't think I've ever even booted it.
I have it digitally too because they gave it away for free at one point. What I did get is that it was $10. It was like the GTA 5 on the PS5. Like if you bought it, if you like pre-ordered it, it was $9.99.
Is Cosmic Epsilon going to be part of the year of the Spaceman? No, I don't think so. It's like, it's so hard. I don't think I'm ready for it. I don't think I'm ready for it. I'd love to be able to beat it someday. I don't feel ready for it.
I wonder if it's harder than Superstar Soldier.
I think it probably is, because it doesn't have continues. Like maybe there's like a Master System style like hidden continue feature.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's really hard though. It's so cool. It's such a cool game, but it's hard. But anyway,
Metroid Prime is a good choice for. I mean, I guess
that's a very good choice for favorite game of all time.
Yeah.
As you know, it's not my choice, but it's a good choice. It's a good choice. It's a good choice.
Anyways, is that going to do it for this week?
I believe it will. So we will be wrapping up the Mr. video this week. Well, like I say, I think it's unrealistic to think it's going to release before the next stream, but it's just going to be so little left, so little. I think I'll be done my parts by then. And I wish I could help with the remaining parts more, but that computer stuff is pretty obtuse to me. So
yeah, we're gonna figure it out.
We're gonna get it done.
Yeah. Thanks everybody who donated. And speaking of which, there's another £2 from 00.
Thank you.
Saying, Coury, I thought the Control would be your choice. I mean, that was my favorite game that I played last year. But there's a lot of stuff like from other years that I would probably pick over it. I mean, I'd take Ys 8, for example, over it. I'd take Breath of the Wild over it.
I had a fleeting thought of playing Ys 6 tonight.
Oh man, you shouldn't.
But the thing that made me stop was like I played an RPG last week. But even though I skipped over all.
It's not even an RPG.
It's not, but like I mean, since unlike when I streamed Final Fantasy 4 and just mashed through all the dialogue, like I need to like listen to all the dialogue in it though, since it would be my first time playing.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll do Ys 6 soon. I have been in an Ys mood.
Yeah.
So.
Anyways, thanks everybody, and I hope everyone has a good week.
All right. Good night.
All right. Take care.